Hey everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the vlog. So in today's episode, the plan is to take the engine out of the TTS. That's the plan, and that's what we're going to achieve by the end of this vlog. So the new engine has arrived, and I'll show you that in a second. It is still wrapped up because I had to leave it outside, but it's here, and really actually infused to get this engine in the car. So this should be quite quickly, but today's priority is to take the old engine out of the car with as little hassle as possible. So without wasting any further time, let's get into it, because there's a lot that we need to do. There's a whole lot of wiring that needs to be disconnected, etc, 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 and we ain't got a lot of time to do that today. So let's get on and take the engine out. Welcome to part 2 of TTS new heart transplant episode. So today we are hoping to get this engine out with the gearbox intact, and I've got my little table of what I'm going to show you. The new engine has arrived, which is brilliant, which means we can get on with this. Now, to remove the engine, there are 3 main mounts. So we've got our main mount here for the gearbox, we've got our engine mount on this side here. Now these can be quite complex, only because you have to lift and then pull across, but what we are hoping to do, if we do it from here, so there's 2 bolts here, that will then allow us just to drop that down. Then underneath we've got this connection here, which is otherwise known as the dog bone. We've got the 2 drive shafts to separate, so from underneath there on this side. So this side here, it will slide out. On that side, we've got some spline bolts to undo. I don't know why Audi do that, on the Volkswagen Group do that. If you know, put them in the comments below, but this side is splines. And then, finally, we then got the main drive shaft just underneath there that takes power to the rear wheels, this here. Now, interestingly, that there has only got 3 bolts holding it together, which is extraordinary. Then of course we've got the main engine loom that comes across down here, so we need to take that apart from the ECU, and then once we've done that, the engine should then come away. At least that's a theory. So let me show you the new engine. We've taken the subframe, or no, this is not a subframe, this is like a subframe before the main subframe, but we may need to drop the subframe if we have issues getting the rear prop shaft off. Here's our new engine, all sealed up. We'll take a look at that in a second, because it's been raining and I've had to leave it outside, but don't worry, we're going to get it in today. And this is what we're going to use to do the transplant. So this is a heavy duty lifting trolley, and the way it lifts is you just pump that like that. It does come up quite high, so as you can see there's plenty of height here for us to actually work with, and I think this thing will lift about 600 kilos, which is lighter than our engine, more than our engine. So as you can see, it does come up really high, and it's very maneuverable as well. And then it's got a nice little slow release that allows us to just get things down nice and slowly, as you can see. So that is what we're going to do the job. Hopefully that will work. There will be some balancing needed, as you can imagine, but it should work a treat. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that works, because if that doesn't work then we're gonna have to think of something else. But yeah, that's our trolley. Okay, good. So engine, trolley, I guess all we need to do now is get the engine apart. So let's crack on and get that done. Right, so let me tell you what we've done so far. We have taken all the wiring off. So we just got this one cable now, one electrical cable, and that goes to the alternator. It's basically been trapped behind the alternator, so we need to pull the alternator forward. We're taking the main bolt out the alternator, but we need to loosen that up further, so we'll do that in a second. So what we're going to work on now is this here. So this is the gear selector, so we need to undo this bolt here, and then I think there's a bolt behind here that we need to undo. Actually no, once we undo this bolt, it should just feed through. And then once we can move that out of the way, we can then move hopefully the exhaust over, and that will allow me to get to the prop shaft to undo that. That's the theory. Let's see how we go in practice. Okay, so we got one bolt out. In fact, we got two out, but the third one we're not going to be able to do. And the realities of this is that we do need to drop the subframe, because even if we are able to take the three out, once we get the engine in, it's going to be really difficult to do that up. It's pretty much going to be difficult to put the exhaust in, and you know, once this is all connected up to the engine, because this will be connected to the engine, it's going to really make it difficult to do even that. So on that basis, let's drop the subframe, and to do that we need to take the dry shafts off. So let's go and do that. Right, these bolts are tighter than a tight thing. They are not coming out anytime today. And then that's when I realized, actually, I don't need to take those out. All I need to do is really undo the wishbone, and then this swings free. See that? And that's what we've done now. Let's pull back the lens. Here we go. So that is free, and then what we can do then is just undo the bolts for the dry shaft, which we're doing now. Literally, we just gotta spin that, and then it's gonna come off. So let's do that, and that should be a lot quicker. Okay, so we've been at it now for a few hours. It's now dark outside, as you can see. What have we got done? Well, we've got all the auxiliaries undone. We've got the back there, that's now disconnected completely disconnected. If you can't see it, but trust me when I say it is. So that's all loose. There we go. So prop shaft is now disconnected. The engine is swinging, so the only thing holding this engine up are these mounts here. So we're going to loosen 3 on this side here, or actually 2 on this side, and that will allow it to drop. And then we've got 3 on that side, actually 4 if we go down to the bottom. Oh no, 3. These 3 here, we'll go from these 3. Yeah, that's it. So let's see how we get on then. And there we have it, one engine and gearbox out. Whew. I'll tell you what, that was the easy part. Now I've got to get this thing out of here. No doubt we'll get it done. So what I'll do is I'll bring it around the front, then I'll split the gearbox, and then we'll take that off and get the new engine on here, and then hopefully we'll be able to, well, not hopefully, we'll assemble it and then do the reversal. Actually, what I'll probably do is I'll probably bring the engine around, I'll split the gearbox, leave the gearbox here, because there's no point bringing the gearbox around the front. I'll bring the engine here, make the gearbox here, and then we'll put it all up together, and that should be it. The one thing I do need to remove is this dog bone here, which was an absolute pain, and basically that stopped me from just lifting it up and back and forth. I had to pull it forward and then drop it down, which worked in the end, but that wasn't fun, believe me. Okay, yeah, very glad with the progress we made. Like I said, came out a lot easier. What I'm probably going to do is give the engine bay a little bit of clean up here, and then we'll take a look at the new engine. Now that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be so much harder to get it out. Of course, we do need to take a look at that dog bone. That's the stabilizer underneath the engine, because I'm not happy with that bolt. The way it was coming off, it was just, and it's still stuck in there now, so we need to take that off to facilitate the easy installation of the engine, the new engine going in. Now I've still got to get the engine out to the back so I can split it, but I might split the engine where it is now and take the gearbox off. I want to clean the gearbox up because it's a good opportunity when you take an engine out of a car to give the engine bay a bit of a spruce up. And I know a lot of you might say, well, you don't really see that, but actually it helps diagnosing any issues, because if it's nice and clean, then you know that there's no oil leaks or any mist, etc. But when it's dirty or when it's greasy, then that can hide a multitude of sin. And when we get the engine out, the new engine, we're going to take a look at it to make sure that it's okay. I know it's been guaranteed that it's okay, but I want to make sure that there's no leaks or anything like that. And if there is, we'll get those sorted before we put the engine in the car, because it's going to be so much easier to do it in that way. And also we'll fit the manifold as well, so everything's going to be nice and tight and shiny and new and clean, etc., along with the new cam belt kit. So it's going to be a real pucker motor. Whoever gets this car is going to have a real good solid motor with only 57,000 miles. That's half the mile that the car's actually showing. And yes, we will be selling it with its current mileage. Not going to change the clocks back because that's illegal. Good. Okay, so next week's video. What's going to happen in next week's video? Well, we've got a little gift coming from Audi. So stay tuned for that. I'm not sure how we're going to do that now, whether we're going to continue the series or whether we'll just have this special little gift from Audi episode. But we'll see. We'll see what you say in the comments below, because we always enjoy reading that. So don't forget to stick your comments down and we'll do that. And again, if you are a casual subscriber, I would really appreciate if you became a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, that is, become a subscriber, because that really helps with sponsors and stuff like that. Good. Okay, I think that's about it. So again, don't forget to subscribe down here if you're a casual viewer. Click on the bell notification if you are a regular subscriber, and we will see you on the next one. Have a good week. Oh, we're going to be dropping a midweek video. Yes. And the reason being is that we are going to be reviewing another what's the name, cam? You know, camera. Yeah, for your car. So stay tuned for that. That's going to drop in on Thursday. Hopefully. Should do. Will do. It will do. Okay. Have a good one. See you next week.